What's going on, guys? It's Tim, and we have got another red day, another great time to add some stocks. Now, I'm going to get into some stocks to buy now, but first off, we're going to get into some Bitcoin news, then we're just going to kind of glance at the overall market, and let's get started on this Bitcoin stuff. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, El Salvador is bringing financial representatives from about 44 developing countries to talk about Bitcoin. And I wanted to mention some of the countries that are actually going to be attending. We've got Paraguay, Haiti, Honduras, Costa Rica, Ecuador in Latin America. We've got Angola, Ghana, Namibia, and Uganda in Africa. We've got Bangladesh, Palestine, and Pakistan in Asia. So stay tuned to this event. It's very likely we're going to get some, talks from other countries mentioning this event, and we'll see kind of what their thoughts are. So stay tuned. Now, I personally don't think that we'll just get any adoption news anytime soon, necessarily in the next month or so, but I do expect by 2023 that there will be at the very minimum one other country willing to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, just as El Salvador did. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Now, before I look at TradingView's heat map of overall stocks, I wanted to look at Bitcoin and just let you guys know that I think now is a great time to add to it. So personally, I like to add Bitcoin anywhere from like 3 to 4 times a month, sometimes once a week, sometimes I'll skip a week, just kind of depending on my mood or depending on where Bitcoin's going, what I'm seeing on the technicals. Now, right now, looking at the RSI, we're a bit oversold. MACD is still pointing down. However, I think the MACD will curl anytime soon. And of course, the candles are very bearish. Now, we may be in for some rougher waters and some lower levels. However, I see it, if I'm kind of dollar cost averaging, as a great time to add in now. However, it's very possible we come back down to the $26,000 level. I'm not going to wait for something that might not potentially happen, and I do like to kind of just chip away at Bitcoin. And you will see in time that sometimes that's just the best thing to do, just kind of dollar cost average, buy during times of pessimism, buy during times of fear. Next up, we've got TradingView's heat map here, and you can see that across the board, pretty much everything is red. We've got large cap tech down anywhere from about 2 to 5%. Definitely a rough day for large caps. And small caps are no different, with some as much as 10% down. But first off, I do want to get into a large cap that I like to cover from time to time, and that's going to be AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. And looking at AMD, I just love playing the volatility on this one. I think this is a great one to play that $100 psychological level. And now that we broke $100, we're sitting at 97. Keep an eye on it. If we do break 100, we might be able to push it farther and scalp it. Now, we do have a pretty clear level of support right around 92. I don't expect AMD necessarily to get down to its next support level of about 92, 93. However, if you don't have this one yet and you're trying to be patient, I think that's a great entry point. But having said that, I do think under $100 for long term, it is a great time to add to it. But it never hurts to be patient. But I definitely love AMD for the long term. They gave a great outlook. Their earnings came out fantastic. And as many of you know, I'm extremely bullish on the semiconductor space in general. So next up, I wanted to mention a stock I don't really talk about much. I know a lot of other YouTubers like to cover this one, and that's going to be Palantir. PLTR. And I have been taking advantage of this, kind of just chipping away at it here and there. We did fall as low as 646. However, we were pretty quick to recover. Now we're just hovering at this $8 area. I think it's a good time to just slowly kind of add to it. Although right now it could honestly, I think, go either way. It's definitely possible we push lower if the overall market does push lower. And it's very possible that we also just push higher. And we really don't have any, our closest support level to the downside is about 750. And our closest resistance to the upside, I'd say, is about 940, 950. So if we do start pushing, I think we've got quite a bit of room to run before we kind of get into some resistance points on Palantir. I did save their earnings call and I edited it into a smaller version, a kind of more easier to listen to version, so definitely check it out. And next up, I can't do a YouTube video without talking about CleanSpark. I'm not adding to this one. I am way overextended in this one, to be honest. Don't do what I do. But having said that, if you're not overextended, I think it's a great time to add into CleanSpark. I think if you're looking for a Bitcoin miner, you need to look no further than to get into CleanSpark. Of all the Bitcoin miners, I personally think they're the less likely to dilute. They have all of that energy experience, that microgrid experience, which I think is a huge plus for a company in the Bitcoin mining realm. And they're also expanding into Texas with that Lancium deal. It is going to just dramatically push that hash rate to the upside. I definitely love CleanSpark, but let me know in the comments below what your favorite Bitcoin miner is. And if I wasn't so overextended into something like CleanSpark, I would be adding to it right now. But I have to show a little restraint, although I do see this as an easy 5x over time. Next up, I wanted to mention Ford, and I'm extremely bullish on this one. I do like adding to this one at this price. And I was actually in this a long time ago, back when it was actually under $10. I got out in the teens, it ran up to 25 to my surprise, and now we're back here in the upper $12 area. I personally see it as a great time to add to Ford. The RSI is relatively oversold, the MACD is curling about to go bullish. However, the candles are still bearish, so we may fall further. But we've got a bit of a mixed technicals here. I think it's a great time to add to Ford personally. And I do think this one's going to see a lot of hype coming in as we get more news on those F-150 Lightnings rolling out. They have been rolling out to customers. And honestly, I'm curious what you guys think. To me, I think this Ford Lightning just blows everything out of the water personally, and when you compare to the competition, you know, you've got the base model Ford at about $40,000, I believe, if you can find one. That's the trouble, is finding one. To me, and the fact that Ford has the first truck out there, this is groundbreaking news, and I think we will only realize how big this is once this time already passes us. Very bullish on Ford, and I see it as a long-term stock. However, I do think we'll get a little short-term hype in this one. Another EV stock that I really love is going to be ChargePoint, and this isn't necessarily an EV vehicle stock, but this is a charging stock. So this is kind of a picks and shovels play in this gold rush that is the EV space. And I see ChargePoint as a great time to add. We're sitting here right around 10. Just be aware that ChargePoint's earnings is coming up, so you might want to just wait until after earnings, or just keep that in mind and kind of just average through. But I'm very bullish on ChargePoint. And next up, I might as well just tell you my next EV play. I've talked about it before. This is going to be NIO, and it has been actually running up pretty nicely from about $13, so just be aware. However, I think it's a great time to add it. Personally, while it's still under 20 bucks, I like kind of chipping away at NIO. And this is also one of my other long-term EV plays. I'm kind of waiting on Tesla. If we do see Tesla in the 400s, kind of unlikely, but if we do see Tesla in the 400s, you better believe I'll be picking up some Tesla. However, looking at NIO, I absolutely love it at this price, and I will continue to dollar cost average through while it's under 20. Just like ChargePoint, NIO's earnings is coming up as well, so just be aware of that. You might want to wait on it, but make sure you stick around because I will be covering their earnings. There's going to be a lot of information there, and that's all I got for you guys today. So thanks as always for watching, and I will see you next time.